Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Chase Corrington. This is the Chase Corrington YouTube channel. And today we're taking another look at Dr. Wayne Dyer's Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, Living the Wisdom of the Tao. And we're going to take a look at the 8th verse. He titles this one, Living in the Flow. All right, let's go right into it. The 8th verse, the supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. It flows to low places, loathed by all men. Therefore, it is like the Tao. Wow, that's deep. Had a window pop up there on the screen. Live in accordance with the nature of things. In dwelling, be close to the land. In meditation, go deep in the heart. In dealing with others, be gentle and kind. Stand by your word. Govern with equity. Be timely in choosing the right moment. One who lives in accordance with nature does not go against the way of things. He moves in harmony with the present moment, always knowing the truth of just what to do. That is the 8th verse of the Tao Te Ching. That's remarkable. It's always so perplexing. Like, it's you could read one line of that and spend a long time. The first two lines, the supreme good is like water. Just think about that for a second. I mean, that's what I do anyways. It's like the supreme good is like water. Flowing. Water is flowing. It brings life, right? But it also takes it. I'm getting off track there though. The supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. Because the Tao does nothing, yet leaves nothing undone. Without trying to. It flows to the low places, finds its level, always. It takes the low road when, egotistically or materialistically, that is the way that we loathe, that we avoid purposefully, because we label things, we live in a paradoxical duality, which means a confusing created black and white out of grayness, or a confusing created, good and bad out of justness, out of things just being. We've created labels, whether something is good and bad. It makes me think, somebody's trash can be somebody else's treasure, and somebody's treasure can be someone else's trash. It's so weird. My mind just went to physical appearances. Some people may find certain individuals not attractive, where other people may find that same individual extremely attractive. It's just a matter, you got your perspective. Makes me think of the thing Gary says all the time. You got your perspective. Don't you just want to be happy? Wouldn't we? You would think we would purposefully choose the perspective of peace, optimism, happiness, But maybe when we do that, it's like, I don't know. See, why do we defend our misery? It doesn't make sense to me. Let's see what Wayne Dyer has to say about this 8th verse of the Tao Te Ching because I can rant forever, I tell you. Living in the Flow. This particular one is titled. Nice little boat there. The Tao and water are synonymous. According to the teachings of Lao Tzu, you are water. Water is you. That makes me think of something I was just talking about last night. How it is, you are it, and it is you. If there's nowhere that it is not, then that means it is in you, and also in the ants, and the leaves, and the air, and the birds, and everything. My hoodie. It is flowing through us as water does. All right, sorry. Let's get back. Water, you are water, water is you. Think about the first 9 months of your life after conception. So before, man, I can get off track really easy. Before you experience this world, the first 9 months you lived in and were nourished by amniotic fluid, which is truly unconditional love flowing into you. Man, he really words this crazy. Flowing as you rather than flowing. See, it's a oneness. That's what I meant about the paradoxical duality. It's like the duality being the two-ness, paradoxical, being an impossibility. Or I'd love to, if you can get the correct meaning of paradoxical, put that in the definition. Put that in the comments, and maybe I'll put it in the description. There we go. We'll work together. But it's this two-ness out of this oneness. You are nourished, which is truly flowing as you. You're now 75% water. Think about, there's another one. And your brain is 85%. Holy cow. The rest is simply muscled water. Hilariously put. Think about the mysterious, magical nature of this liquid energy that we take for granted. Try to squeeze it, and it eludes us. And this is the greatest description. The greatest description, like when you try to swim, it's like, I think it was Alan Watts or it was Wayne Dyer. I've been listening to both of them for quite a while now, but it was one of them that said, trying to find God or trying to label God and name God or trying to get a hold of God, whatever God is, it could be the Tao for you, universal energy source, whatever it is for you. For me, it's not particularly an externalized, I think the word is anthropomorphized. I don't know. It's not a personification of something to me, because you are it and it is you. Back to the water, right? You are water and water is you. And it's also in the air. And it's also in a lot of things. I'm getting off subject again. Let's go back to what he was saying. It does not seek the high spots, to be above it all. When trying to label God, it's like trying to swim, right? You don't jump into the water, whether it's a pool or the ocean or anything. You don't jump into the water and try to grasp onto it and try to get a firm grip and, get your footing, because you sink. And the more you try to grasp it, the more it goes right through your hands. And it's the way that you work with it is how. Just think of how I said it, you work with it. the way that you swim and do not drown in water, the way that you get a hold of God, whatever that is to you, is the same way that you swim. You go, you let go, you get loose, and you feel it and work with it despite you know where I'm going with that. I love that analogy because I actually think of myself in the water, and there's a feeling when your arm and your hand is in the water, even though you push it to move yourself. It's a harmonious interaction. It's like the old sail in the wind. And is it the wind that's moving the boat, or is it the sail? That's the endless. See, this is the paradoxical duality. It's the oneness of two-ness. It seems to be very important to me because it links back to everything else. But to continue with the water, but settles for the lowest places. It does not seek the high spots. It gathers into rivers, lakes, streams, courses to the sea, and then evaporates to fall again as rain. It maps out nothing. It maps out nothing. Wow. And it plays no favorites. It doesn't intend to provide sustenance for animals or plants. It has no plans to irrigate the fields or to quench our thirst or to provide the opportunity to swim, sail, ski, scuba dive, and all of these things. These are some of the benefits that come naturally from water simply doing what it does and being what it is. And that's the key to the way. That is the key to the right way, I believe, of living in flow, living the flow, really expressing your truest self, being, there's all these up in the clouds ways of saying it, but it's hard to put it into concrete terms, at least for me it is. But really just living your right life. I love the way Matt Belair puts it. He's like, if the beaver is trying to be, a squirrel, he's going to be having a terrible time, and he's going to be upset about it too, because naturally he's supposed to be over there building the dams and in the water and swim. And when he gets over there in the water and he's building the dams and he's swimming around, he's going to feel so good he won't even realize it, because he'll just be being rather than trying and striving and constantly trying to force it or get there or get a hold of it. It's just like the water metaphor. It's like we need to be arriving rather than striving. We need to, like Ram Dass said, we need to be here now. Or lately I've been thinking of how the future and the past does exist, but it doesn't exist separate from now. All time exists simultaneously at once in the now, because whether or not we're either in the future or the past, it is still the now when we're there. And when we're thinking about the future or the past, we're still using up the now to do it. It's just all thoughts that are flowing through my head. Okay. The Tao, that last sentence though, maybe we'll end with that. These are some of the benefits that comes naturally from water, simply doing what it does and being what it is. That beaver metaphor is so good. Because then if the squirrel is trying to swim, you can imagine how struggles, you can imagine the struggles in life that's going to bring for the squirrel. And all the things in the water are going to be going, what the hell is the squirrel doing? Squirrel. The Tao asks you to clearly see the parallels between you and this naturally flowing substance that allows life to sustain itself. Live as water lives, since you are water. Become contented, as is the fluid that animates and supports you. There's a few other sections here. One of them is, when you are free to flow as water, you're free to communicate naturally. Information is exchanged and knowledge advances in a way that benefits everyone. Let your thoughts float freely. Do not cling to them. I want to read some of that because that might be helpful for people. Forget about fighting life or trying to be something else. Rather, allow yourself to be like the material compound that compromises every aspect of your physical being. I think he's talking about water still. In the hidden messages in water. Masaru Emoto. I need to learn more about that name. I can tell already. Explains that we are water and water wants to be free. So in that way, let your thoughts float freely and do not cling to them. Okay. Now, the final section here. Do the Tao now. It's a little challenge Wayne Dyer gives to us. Can you imagine reading this every day? That'd be so much to take in and think about. I'm like, man, I could spend a month on every one of these verses, and I didn't even read everything. There's only 2 pages. All right, do the Tao now. Drink water. That should be, I'm hoping everybody drinks water today. Drink water silently today, while reminding yourself with each sip to nourish others in the same life-flourishing way that streams give to the animals and rain delivers to the plants. Note how many places water is there for you. Notice it. And how it doesn't even intend. It's almost like it's accidental. It's like, oh, yep, here's the water. It's doing everything, leaving nothing on. It's so accidental, but so perfect. See, that's the key. Not planned, but perfect, flowing. Sorry, I got off track again. Note how many places water is there for you, serving you by flowing naturally. Say a prayer of gratitude, or, a silent mental note of gratitude for this life-sustaining, always flowing substance. Incredible. Dr. Wayne Dyer never lets me down. The next one he calls living humility. That might be very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. But I think we'll leave it there. I've been working on CLC paint over on the CLC Paint YouTube channel and clcoilpainting.com and all that kind of stuff. Doing more paintings lately. So if you want to support, is what I'm saying, go over to CLC Paint YouTube channel and you'll recognize me there because I'm the same person. But otherwise, I hope whoever watches this gets extreme value, or maybe if it's like my future grandchildren, they'll be like, look how crazy grandpa was. That'll be great. Because I know, we all wish we had that about our grandparents. Maybe not all of us, but I know that some of us wish we had. I don't even know how long I've been here. however long this recording is, you know, these kind of recordings of our loved ones. I mean, what? Back when I first started this channel, I was always like, what did I say? I always did the seek to achieve to maintain happiness. I've kind of thought twice about that lately. Considered the necessity of bad for good. Pretty sure I did that. Yeah, maybe I'll have to do that video in the future because I got the notes over here. What did I used to say? Oh well. Go back and watch it and we'll find out. That's another reason I love making these videos, is it's like, man, you go back, you don't even remember some of the things. You look a year ago and you're like, wow, excellent. Especially with the paintings, I go back and look at some of those and I'm like, that's how I did that. Because that's the secret of the Tao, or the flowing. Like the greatest musicians or you know, artists or athletes, that's what I was thinking of. You'll ask them, how did you do it? Like there was a great story of a composer and he did a great you know, one of the symphonies or something, and he went into there was a standing ovation. It was one of the greatest, you know, remakes ever of this famous symphony orchestra. And the friend goes up to me and goes, why are you so upset? That was the most wonderful performance ever. And the guy, he says, I don't know how I did it, and if I can ever do that good again. But that's just the secret. It is just that you don't know how you do it. It just does it, and that's when it's done the best. But do the Tao today and notice water. Let's read that one more time, just to remind ourselves. Drink water silently today while reminding yourself with each sip to nourish others in the same life-flourishing way that streams give to the animals and rain delivers to the plants. Note how many places water is there for you, serving you by flowing naturally. Say a prayer of gratitude for this life-sustaining, always flowing substance. I'll be back in the future, ladies and gentlemen, with more videos like this to throw your way. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it. Be sure to smash the like. And if you got value, consider subscribing. Definitely. All right. Be back in the future. Love you, ladies and gentlemen.